The Sounds of Summer is brought to you by your local Honda dealer. Race in for a great deal on the Honda of your dreams during the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event. Accord, Civic, CRV, HRV, Pilot, and more. Take advantage of the savings and see your local Honda dealer today. Hi again, everybody. I'm Charlie Slows. Welcome to the Sounds of Summer, brought to you by your local Honda dealers. As we review the month of June for the Nationals, and hopefully we look back at this month of June of 2021 as the time they turned around their season. As the month began, the Nationals were in Atlanta for a 4-game series with the Braves and dropped the first game of the series 5-3. Came back and won the second game on June the 1st, 11-6. They had a 3-run homer from Ryan Zimmerman at the top of the fourth inning to build a 6-1 lead. But this was also the night that Steven Strasburg experienced the discomfort in his neck and had to come out of the game with the nerve irritation in just the second inning. So it was a good thing for the Nationals. They were able to put runs on the board. The Braves came back with 3 runs in the bottom of the fifth inning against the Nationals bullpen. The Nats had a 6-4 lead, but put it away with 3 runs of the seventh, an RBI hit from Kyle Schwarber, a 2-run double from Yan Gomes, and then Juan Soto hit a 2-run homer in the eighth inning, and the Nationals went on to win the game by the score of 11-6. And then they were winners again the next night with John Lester on the mound. He left with only 1 run on the board that he allowed at 5 2/3 innings, but the bullpen didn't hold the lead for him, and the Nats eventually won it late with a run of the eighth on a home run by Yan Gomes, a run of the ninth knocked in by Trey Turner. Juan Soto had a 2-run homer in the fifth inning of this game at the left center off left-hander Drew Smyly. The Nationals beat the Braves with Daniel Hudson getting the win 5-3. But the Braves came back and won the final game of the series 5-1. And the big inning for Atlanta was a 4-run bottom of the sixth inning against Patrick Corbin. They built the 4-0 lead, and that was the big difference in the game. Corbin falling to 3-5 with that loss. The Nationals were on to Philadelphia June the 4th, and a win for Max Scherzer going 7 2/3 innings, gave up a run on 5 hits. He struck out 9. Juan Soto had a solo home run in this game. Josh Bell had an RBI double and 2 hits in the game, and the Nationals with the bullpen holding on, with Daniel Hudson getting his 11th hold and Brad Hand his 10th save, getting the final out of the game. The Nationals won it by the score of 2-1. Big play in the game was Alex Avila with pinch runner Travis Jankowski on second base of the ninth inning, running for Rhys Hoskins. He got caught off second base, and the catcher ran him down from behind the plate all the way out to between second and third in a rundown without ever a throw in that rundown. Alex Avila tagged out Travis Jankowski for the second out of the inning. The Nationals won the game by the score of 2-1. Phillies came back and won the next game of the series 5-2. That was the Saturday night game, and the Nationals with Joe Ross giving up 4 unearned runs could not pitch around an error by Josh Bell in the bottom of the fourth inning, and the big blow in the inning was a 3-run home run by Andrew McCutchen, and the Phillies pulled away and won that game by the score of 5-2. The finale of that series on Sunday was a wild one, and that was the game where Austin Voth, who got the start in this one, was up to try and advance a runner with a bunt after Victor Robles had been hit by a pitch, but squaring around a bunt on the pitch from Vince Velasquez, Austin Voth was hit in the face, suffered a broken nose, and a lot of blood as he left the field. Phillies scored 7 runs in the bottom of the fourth inning in this one and put the game away, and a wild one beat the Nationals by the score of 12-6. It was on at Tropicana Field after an off day for an interleague series with the Rays, and the Nationals would split that series. Tyler Glasnow held the Nationals to a run on 6 hits over 7, and he struck out 11 Nationals in the game for his 10th career double-digit strikeout game. The Nationals held to a single run scored in the fourth inning, driven home by Trey Turner. The Rays won the game by the score of 3-1. The Nationals bounced back in a high-scoring game, and it went 11 innings. They won it by the score of 9-7. And this one decided in the bullpens. Patrick Corbin was the starter. He gave up 3 runs in the first inning, but none after that, going 5 innings. Nationals had home runs, 2-run shot from Juan Soto, and a pair of home runs. Soto and a 2-run homer from Ryan Zimmerman. But the Nationals able to score twice in extra innings, 2 in the 10th. The Rays tied it with 2 in the bottom of the 10th. And eventually, RBI double by Starlin Castro put the Nationals in front to stay. And they got a sac fly from Josh Harrison in the inning and won the game by the score of 9-7, with Tanner Rainey picking up his first save. The Nationals came home to open a homestand against the San Francisco Giants on June the 11th, and This around the time that things started to turn for the Nationals. They lost this game 1-0. Anthony DeSclafani shut them out, a complete game two-hitter, striking out 8 and walking 1. A 1-0 win for the Giants, the only run on a Buster Posey solo home run in the fourth inning. The next night, with a rain out of the first day of the series, the Nationals had a doubleheader, a day-night doubleheader on June the 12th. And this is the day that Davey Martinez decided to put Kyle Schwarber in the leadoff spot in his batting order. And he hit a home run in the bottom of the first inning, leading it off. The Nationals led 1-0 for Schwarber. It was his sixth career leadoff home run. The only other run of the game for the Nationals came at the bottom of the fourth inning, an RBI double from Josh Harrison. Eric Fedde in the start, 7-inning game, pitched 5 shutout innings. Kyle Finnegan pitched the 6th, and Brad Hand in the 7th for the save, and the Nationals won it by the score of 2-0. The nightcap, Davey Martinez decided to drop Schwarber back to number 4 of the lineup. Trey Turner leading off. The Giants won this game by the score of 2-1 for a split of the doubleheader, and then the Nationals turned it around in the Sunday game, and Joe Ross pitched one of the best games of his career. 8 shutout innings, 5 hits, struck out 9 and walked none. Not only did Kyle Schwarber hit another leadoff home run at the bottom of the first inning, he hit a 3-run home run in the bottom of the second inning, his 9th career multi-homer game. The Nationals shut out the Giants 5-0 as they started to turn things around in the month of June. The Pittsburgh Pirates came to town, and this was good medicine for the Nationals. Tight one of the opening game of the series on Monday, June the 14th. John Lester, 5 1/3 innings, 2 runs and 6 hits allowed, but left a tie game. The Nationals scored in the bottom of the 7th inning. Solo homer for Kyle Schwarber. Second hit, second RBI of the game, and the bullpen with Brad Hand closing it out beat the Pirates by the score of 3-2. They beat them handily the next night with Patrick Corbin going 8 1/3 innings. He allowed just a run. The Nationals won it 8-1. They scored 5 runs in the first inning. The big blow was Yan Gomes with a grand slam. The Nationals had the early 5-0 lead, coasting to an 8-1 win over the Pirates. The second game of the series, Nationals beat the Pirates by the score of 3-1. Actually, the third game of the series, completing a sweep. And this was Paolo Espino stepping into the rotation. 5 shutout innings, giving up 3 hits. He struck out 2. Brad Hand, another save, his 13th of the year. And the Nationals had home runs from Yan Gomes, a solo homer, Josh Bell, a 2-run homer in the 7th to build the 3-0 lead and win it by the score of 3-1. Well, as the Nationals started to creep back to within the 500 mark, they got to within 5 games of 500 at 30-35 as the Mets were coming to town for a big 4-game series. We'll talk about that and more after we hear from your local Honda dealers. Hi, this is Charlie Slows telling you to be confident in a new Honda. Enjoy the open road in a turbocharged sedan like the sophisticated Accord or the tech-savvy Civic with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Get rugged in an adventure-ready all-wheel drive SUV like the HR-V, CR-V, Pilot, or Passport with features like Honda Sensing, magic folding seats, and 3 different driving modes. Now's the best time to buy. Don't miss your chance to get a great deal on your favorite Honda model. See your local Honda dealer today. Welcome back to the Sounds of Summer, brought to you by your local Honda dealers. I'm Charlie Slows. Well, the Nationals trying to get back to 500 and chase down the New York Mets. We're 7 games back when the Mets came to town on June the 18th for a 4-game series, which included a doubleheader in the second day of the series. The opening game of the series, no score. Eric Fedde, 7 innings of 2-hit shutout ball. He struck out 6, but he left a scoreless game, and it stayed that way until the bottom of the 9th inning. Juan Soto, a leadoff walk against Mets closer Edwin Diaz. He went to third on a hard single to right by Ryan Zimmerman, and then Yan Gomes ripped one to the left for a game-winning walk-off single. The Nationals beat the Mets by the score of 1-0 in the opening game of the series. Game 1 of the doubleheader on June the 19th, the Mets won it by the score of 5-1. The story was Francisco Lindor against Joe Ross, touched him for a 2-run homer in the first, an RBI single in the third, and another 2-run home run in the 5th inning. Lindor drove in all 5 runs for the Mets, who beat the Nationals by the score of 5-1. Juan Soto drove in the Nats' only run with a single scoring Trey Turner, who had doubled in the bottom of the 5th inning. Game 2 of the doubleheader, the Nationals won it 6-2 as John Lester got his first win in a Nationals uniform. He allowed 2 runs and 7 hits over 6 innings plus. Guess who? At a leadoff home run at the bottom of the 1st inning, Kyle Schwarber with a 443-foot shot into the Brewhouse red seats in left center field. His 8th career leadoff home run. And then, as he's done so many times in the month of June, when he hits a leadoff homer in the first, he hits another home run, a 3-run blast in the bottom of the 4th inning. Trey Turner also homered. The Nationals built a 6-0 lead on the way to a 6-2 win and then completed 3 out of 4 for the Mets. For the Sunday game, Patrick Corbin pitched into the 7th inning, 6 innings, gave up a pair of solo home runs. The Nationals had another leadoff home run from Kyle Schwarber in the 1st inning, a solo homer leading off the bottom of the 5th inning, and then hit a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 7th inning. It was his first career 3-home run game, his 11th career multi-home run game, and again, another leadoff home run in the 1st inning of that game. The Nationals beat the Mets by the score of 5-2, winning 3 out of 4 to pull to within 4 games, or I should say 5 games of the Mets in the National League East. On to Philadelphia, where Max Scherzer gave them 5 innings, returning from the injured list, a run, 2 hits. He struck out 8 and walked 3. And the Nationals bullpen able to navigate over the final 4 innings. He left with a 3-1 lead. The Nationals won it 3-2. 2 hits for Juan Soto, RBIs for Josh Bell and Yan Gomes, and then also a run-driven home in the 3rd inning from Gomes again, and the Nationals win it by the score of 3-2. Brad Hand with his 13th consecutive save chance converted and his 16th save in 18 tries. Then on Wednesday, June the 23rd, an absolute wild game again for the Nationals, with Eric Fedde facing Vince Velasquez. The Nationals were down early in this game by the score of 5-0, scored 5 runs in the 5th. Phillies came back with a grand slam by Andrew McCutchen, a pinch hit slam off reliever Kyle McGowan, and they led it by the score of 9-5. The Nationals came back with 6 runs in the top of the 6th inning of this game. That included a grand slam home run for Josh Bell. So the Nationals hit their 2nd grand slam of the year, and they would go on to win this game by the score of 13-12. That was after the Phillies scored a run in the 7th, 2 more in the 8th. The Nats needed 2 more in the 9th, and Starlin Castro with a big hit to score 2 into right center at the top of the 9th inning turned the game around against the Phillies closer Hector Neris, and it was Paolo Spino out of the bullpen this time with a scoreless 9th inning. He had earned his first win. A week later, he gets his first save in the major leagues. Nationals with 13-12 win at Philadelphia. On to Miami, where they beat the Marlins 7-3 on June the 24th. Joe Ross with 7 shutout innings. He struck out 8 and walked 2, giving up just 4 hits in the win. And the Nationals getting 2 more home runs from Kyle Schwarber. Yes, another game leadoff home run of the 1st inning, another 3-run homer in the top of the 2nd inning. Schwarber up to 21 home runs in what turned out to be an amazing month for him. The Marlins won game 2 of the series by the score of 11-2. That was a blowout. Schwarber hit another home run, a solo shot, his 22nd, but John Lester giving up 7 runs in 2 1/3 innings. Marlins also won the 3rd game of the series 3-2, and in this one, Patrick Corbin allowed 3 runs over 6 innings, and the Nationals could not mount much of an offense in this one. They came back to split the series with the Marlins, a 5-1 win on the Sunday game, June the 27th, with Max Scherzer going 6, a run on 5 hits, struck out 7 and walked 2. Trey Turner, a 2-run homer. Josh Bell, a 2-run homer in a 4-run 6th inning as the Nats snapped a 1-all tie and won it by the score of 5-1. They came home to face the Mets in a makeup game on Monday, June the 28th, and they won it 8-4. Another leadoff home run for Kyle Schwarber, his 6th of the year, his 23rd home run. Trey Turner followed on the next pitch with a solo home run. The Nationals led 2-0, then got a home run in the bottom of the 2nd inning from Gerardo Parra, who had rejoined the team, and Parra's first home run of the year. Schwarber did it again, another multi-home run game, his 3rd consecutive of the homestand, and his 13th of his career, 5th of the year, with a home run leading off the bottom of the 5th inning. Later in the game for the Nationals, a 3-run home run by Ryan Zimmerman in the bottom of the 8th inning, and they blow out the Mets 8-4. Brad Hand getting his 17th save. Then Tampa Bay came in to close the month with a 2-game interleague series. The Nationals won the opening game 4-3. Joe Ross 6 1/3, 2 runs and 6 hits allowed. Schwarber another leadoff home run in the bottom of the 1st inning, his 7th of the year, and later a 2-run homer by Soto in the 1st inning off Rich Hill of the Rays. And then Victor Robles. He hit his first home run of the year in the bottom of the 2nd off Hill. The Nationals built a 4-0 lead on the way to a 4-3 win over the Rays. And then they hammered Tampa Bay in the series finale 15-6. Trey Turner was the star of this one, a 1st inning single, a 3rd inning double. Then he homered in the bottom of the 4th inning, and later in the bottom of the 6th inning, he hits one over the right fielder's head and legs out a triple for his 3rd career cycle, which tied the major league record for cycles in his career. Unfortunately, he jammed his index finger on his left hand into the third base bag on the triple. Eventually, would leave the game and miss the next couple of games for the Nationals. And as the Nationals defeated the Rays 15-6, going over 500 at 40-38 as the month of July commenced. They opened a series with the Dodgers, a rain-shortened game. The Dodgers scored 5 runs in the top of the 5th against Patrick Corbin, and they won it by the score of 6-2, with Turner missing that game for the Nationals. And the Nationals having to play Starlin Castro at short, moving Josh Harrison to third, and Alex Avila, their catcher, backup catcher, started at second base. Game 2 of the series on Friday night, July the 2nd, came undone for the Nationals. The Dodgers scored 9 runs in the 7th inning against the Nationals bullpen after Max Scherzer had given them 6 innings of strong baseball, allowing just a solo homer by Justin Turner in the 4th inning. He struck out 8 and walked 1. Nationals had scored 3 runs at the bottom of the 2nd, had the 3-1 lead when Scherzer left the game. The big blemish on this one, Kyle Schwarber in the bottom of the 2nd, rounding first base on a base hit into right center field, strained his right hamstring. And as we record this Sounds of Summer episode, he was slated for an MRI to determine the extent of an injury. So the Nationals at 40-40 as they enter play on July the 3rd for Game 3 of a series with the Dodgers, 2.5 games behind the New York Mets. We'll detail what happens next in our next edition of the Sounds of Summer. I'm Charlie Slows. We're brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Hey, it's Charlie Slows inviting you to check out the Sounds of Summer, my monthly recap of Washington baseball all summer long on 106.7 The Fan's YouTube page and social accounts. The Sounds of Summer is brought to you by your local Honda dealer.